Hey guys, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. As always, I am Demon93, and last time we began the third class trial where we uncovered the fact that I am not the killer. Clearly, my testimony is legit, and that Hyoko's body was hidden under the wallpaper at the pillar in the music venue, so she was killed before Ibuki was, or at least killed at the same time as Ibuki. But
it's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie.
And they're trying to say that it's
the
scene
mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Because there couldn't be a third corpse. But still, I don't agree. I said this at the end of the last episode. I don't agree with the fact that you're trying to say it's an imitation because Hyoko was not pinned to the pillar with arrows. Her throat was slit. If they wanted to recreate the movie like they looked like they were trying to, if they were trying to imitate the movie, they would have imitated the movie. They could have gone to the supermarket and bought a bow and fucking arrows, I'm sure, and shot her full of arrows, but they didn't do that.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Because they got caught.
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that now. To mix up the killing order.
I see! The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Sure.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
Possibly.
A valid line of reasoning.
I still don't...
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
Really? Oh yeah. See, it's been like a day since I played, and I forgot everything. I had a bunch of stuff I was doing at home. Yeah, so Ibuki walked through blood. The bottom of her shoes have blood prints on it. The step stool that she climbed up to hang herself had blood on it. That was not hers. It was Hyoko's, which means that Hyoko had been killed first.
If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
Oh no, my two favorites are arguing. Are they arguing over me?
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Damn, Chiaki!
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right?
Correct.
That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
Correct.
What's wrong with that?
But
Nothing.
it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was killed. That would mean Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Yes.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
Right.
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
I don't think she's trying to perplex you.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hyoko was killed.
Correct.
How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Clearly, there was blood.
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
Chiaki, just fucking say it! Don't fucking beat around the bush!
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hyoko was killed. Blood on the souls!
When Hyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
I guess I have to
Did you
do
see
that.
her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Thank you,
I agree with
Sonia. I'll show the evidence since Chiaki won't for some reason.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
It was the puddle of blood.
That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Correct.
And it's Hiyoko's blood.
Exactly. And Hiyoko only had one injury, the slit to her throat that somehow apparently killed her instantly. That's not how a slit throat works. It's not gonna kill you instantly. You will be bleeding out.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly.
Oh, now we're
right?
saying almost instantly.
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded.
Exactly.
Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Sure.
Don't underestimate the power
Gundam.
of the evil eye! Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Okay.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
Gundam, I love you, but shut up.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
Can we just get on with this rebuttal
However,
here?
the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Okay. I think I can do that. Sponge on the floor or stepladder? I don't know.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to him? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Try
Allow
blood.
me to cut through those words!
Well, we didn't even have to go to the advancing part.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Yeah, but Ibuki still had walked through it first.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Sure I do.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
Because the blood looks old.
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Yeah.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
So if we saw the puddle of blood, we'd be like, what the hell? And I would have found Hiyoko sooner.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Yeah.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Really?
aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Unless the killer is Mikon. But really? I mean, no, I don't think that's true, Mikon. What? Just because the heart stops beating, there's still a hole in which the blood will be pooling out.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
Sure.
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
Really? You're the world's best nurse. You're the ultimate
The
nurse.
time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence.
Just
from us.
kidding.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right?
Can we move
Then
on?
it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Okay.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
So what's the next part of the
Fine
trial?
then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Sure.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Hey, calm down, Soda.
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Which is what?
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma.
Why do you
first.
always want to run something by Monokuma?
Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Right.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide?
Same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
Right.
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself.
Right. But we can't punish two people.
Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Sounds good to me.
Why me?
Because we all hate you.
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
I don't think she did.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
Yeah.
For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
Possible.
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
If she was under the influence of the despair disease.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
She would listen to
But if
orders.
Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right?
No, that would have been whoever ordered her to murder Hyoko.
After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
Sorry, I already played this joke.
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
Sorry, Nagito, I already beat you to the punch about 20 minutes ago.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
There are ways.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of possibilities for that to get screwed up and for her to actually kill herself.
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means
There was a different reason why her head was covered in a bag.
there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
Good.
What the heck?
Can we all start searching for the killer now and shut up?
There's still one more issue on my mind.
What now?
If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
It cut out before anything happened. Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
Right.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Possibly.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
Again, she was under the gullible despair disease, which meant she would listen to anybody's orders.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
And what is that?
So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
Okay.
So, an alibi. Our
Yeah.
plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
The weakest alibi.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
Sure.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
Soda, I leave this to you.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Good.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
Sure.
What time did Hajime see that video?
Just before the Monokuma announcement.
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
No? They were both before. I ran to the venue, and on my way there is when the...
Then,
let's see, maybe.
we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Okay, how are we gonna do that? Nikon's account. I don't remember whose account is what. Sonia's account. Hold on.
We can
What are the accounts? Right up until Monokuma announcement that morning, Nikon was with Hajime. The whole time. Afterwards, she went to the hospital to check on everyone and realized that Ibuki had disappeared. When she rushed out of the hospital to search for Ibuki, she apparently met up with Fuyuhiko. The video that Hajime saw at the hospital, it shows a person dressed in a hospital gown wearing a handbag. After Fuyuhiko met Mikan in front of the hospital, they split up to search for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater on Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently, Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. Sonya's account, Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono was disheveled and she was unable to tie it on her own. That's when Sonya apparently told her about the full-length mirror in the music venue storage room. So I'm assuming it's gonna be Mikan's account?
And what about the others?
What about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
What about us?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
Wait. The murder supposedly happened before and during. Wait, oh. Professor doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning, I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone.
So everyone who stayed.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
No, that's wrong.
Mikan has an alibi. What?
Not all of us are missing an alibi.
Mikan and I.
In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
Sure.
you two have alibis?
Yeah, we were sleeping together.
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Come on, Mikan.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Come on, don't say it like that. Oh, Chiaki. I mean, sorry, Chiaki.
Too much info.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
What if this happened long before that?
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
They falsified more than just that. They falsified the murder sequence and they decided to try and falsify the actual time of the crime. It's even earlier than that.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before
I don't know
and
who did it,
during the
though.
morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
We already know that it. Wait, never mind.
Faking
I know
the
that it's
time
not.
the crime occurred by
You guys apparently
falsifying
don't.
the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process.
I'm sure you guys in the comments know as well. Or you guys watching know as well, but, you know. I just know that it's not an imitation alibi because I feel like Kyoko just showed up there unexpectedly, and so the murderer was like, well, fuck, I gotta kill you now.
Was
Well-
that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
Yeah.
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel.
Sure.
I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
And that is... The killer had a different reason? If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then, whose? And what kind of trap is it? We're at the halfway point! Trial suspended. Back out. Hey.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, mon ami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. And there's some chance time. What? chance time. Are we playing Mario Party?
What's that?
Now then, Monami's appeal time starts now.
Huh? Appeal time?
Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's
99% your fault.
While you are whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so.
That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal.
Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way.
Oh, dang. I'm Usami, magical miracle girl Usami. I'm an itty bitty girl who's sweet like milk.
Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment.
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever.
I have no clue whatsoever what that even had to do with anything. The hell? Resume.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation.
Right.
Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this?
I don't know.
We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
How terrible.
No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this.
What's that?
Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
You keep saying not to lose to yourself and to do your very best, but people keep doing their very best at murdering each other. The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you?
As always.
If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
You can. You can just kill yourself.
Man, this again.
Just saying.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too.
But they can't.
If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
They didn't do that because of the fact that they couldn't do that. They could only commit 2 murders.
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
Thank you, Monokuma.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because he didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
He got shot by arrows.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right?
Thank you, Chiaki, for pointing it out when nobody else would. Whereas
Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
And she just had her throat slit instead.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
You know, a non-human soul substitute. MTT brand, human soul base, or human soul. I'm going back to Undertale again.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
Exactly, and since they didn't, it means that they didn't really intend to imitate it in the first place.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
Thank you, Gundam! Yes!
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
Exactly.
What?
Hyoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
No, we have proof.
It's not just the poor imitation. there are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
I can answer that one. So can Sonia. Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Sure. Why Hiyoko went to the music venue? If that's the key to all this, I need to find that out no matter the cost. We already know we're gonna use Sonia's account. What? What? What?
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
Nope.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No.
No, maybe.
Come on, Sonia, you know
She
this
went
one.
of her own free will.
Damn it, missed it.
She was guided by the will of causality.
I need to find out why Hiyoko went to the music venue first.
Why did he go to the music? There's no way we'd...
Maybe the killer
If that's not, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
That's
I agree
it.
with that.
You and I both know this, Sonia.
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
And it's also just as Sonia said. The reason she went there is because...
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hiyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know?
And...
I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
Nobody called for her.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hiyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
Very true.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
No, because the key was real deep in those folds. And you know that. You were the one that found the key. Akane, come on.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose.
Akane, come on.
Are you saying my gut was wrong?
It is now.
This will be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
Because you're wrong.
No, that's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now.
Except you won't. Rebuttal showdown. Sonia's account. Perfect. Yes, let's go.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
Sorry,
But
what?
Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember?
So which button is it again?
It's
Is it
more
left or
likely
right mouse
that
button?
Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
Advance again.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
Ah, damn it. Hiko's kimono was all messed up. There should be no doubt about that.
Crap!
It's true, her kimono was messed up. I should have seen that. Yeah. Don't tell me I have to go through all that again.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Allow me to cut through those words! The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
And so she ran off to go do that.
The reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
No, Akane.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Can I just get you to shut up?
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
I mean, I've got the man's nut. You'd think I would do something like that, but hell no.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
And we'll figure out more about that next time. See you guys.